Hi there, this is Unmesh from PiXimperfect, and have you ever thought about controlling Photoshop with voice commands? Wouldn't it be pretty cool to tell Photoshop whatever you want it to do and it does it automatically? Well, before we start, I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching my keyboard, not my pen tablet, not my mouse, nothing, right? I'm going to show you something pretty cool. Here we have a pretty face and let's give it a command. Let's say soften skin. Have a look. Photoshop is at work and it automatically, there you go, abracadabra, soften the skin. So here is the before, my friend, and here is the after. Now, of course, you can use the mask right and over here to take it away from certain areas. You can just open up the group here and then just make adjustments right over here. It's absolutely non-destructive, but just by one command, soften skin. And it will start softening the skin again. Isn't that pretty cool? All that and more, so without any further ado, let's get started. Back in the magical world of amazing programs and software, I came across this application a couple days ago. It is called Voice Attack. What it does is that it allows you to control PC games and applications. So it's basically a great application for a PC game. So let's say there is a lot of keys that you need to press to do a particular movement, so you can assign it that way. It's a pretty amazing software. Now, I'm using the free version. I'm a cheapskate. Just kidding. I'm not a cheapskate. Well, I'm using the free version so that I can show you what can be done with the free version, and you might not really need the paid version. So all you got to do is to click on download. Now keep in mind, this application is only for PC. For Mac users, well, you can skip to this duration of the video. If you're using a Mac, I'm going to tell you what to do. It has a built-in software that you can use. Might not be as versatile as this one, but it can get the job done. So if you're a PC user, Windows user, just follow along. So once I've downloaded the software, all you got to do is to just open it. You got to trust me on this. It is not rocket science or 7th grade science either. So let's open the software right over there. And once you open it, it was already open for me. So I'm going to just turn off listening because it's listening to everything I say right now. Have a look. I said it's rocket science, or I don't know how it's reading it, but anyway, it's not recognizing that. So how do you configure it? First of all, it has a lot of profiles right over here. Right now, there's only one profile because we didn't pay for it. If you want more profiles, you got to pay for it. So if I try to create a new profile, it's only available in the full version. All right. Now, you can have profiles for, let's say, Photoshop, Illustrator, Audition, different software, games, whatever you wish. Now, to edit a profile, all you got to do is to click on this button called Edit Profile. One other thing. I think the free version is just limited to 20 commands. So if you have the paid version, you can have unlimited amount of commands. But I'm just doing it for fun, so why pay? So I made 3 commands already. Okay, for softening skin, removing background, duplicate, simple commands. So right now, if I go to Photoshop and I say duplicate, it's going to duplicate that layer. Have a look at this. So right now the background layer is selected. We're just going to say duplicate. Does it do anything? No, because if we go back right here, if we check, it says press Ctrl or Command J, which is pretty okay. It should work, right? Duplicate. Oh, there's a problem. I think the listening is off. So we need to go back and turn on the listening. I turned it off so that I didn't want it to hear stupid things. So let's turn it on and say duplicate. Duplicate. Okay, now it worked. So there's a hit or miss. You need to train the speech recognition a little more. There's a way to do it. It shows you in the instruction when you first start the software. It's pretty easy. You just got to train the speech recognition of Windows and it's going to work. Let's try it again. Duplicate. Duplicate. Oh, it worked. Actually, it was with a sentence. Duplicate. Works. All right. So you got to say that independently. Anyway, the way you configure something is by going to Edit Profile. I'm going to turn off listening again. Going to Profile. First of all, let's start with simple things. And the most basic thing that I can think of is simply opening Photoshop. So let's create a new command by simply clicking on New Command. So suggestive. So once you click on that, you can choose what to say when the action takes place. So I can check when I say open Photoshop, so you can type in what would you want to do? So you can assign it a key press, mouse movement, pause. There are many functions that you can control with it. Now, it's not just only speech recognition. You can also control things with your joystick. So let's say when I press button, you can check that and you can just assign your joystick buttons right there. But I'm going to check it off. You're talking about only speech recognition. So we're going to go to Other and then Windows, Run an application. From here, we can simply choose Photoshop. So click on this three dots right there, locate Photoshop. So for me, it is in C, Program Files, and then Adobe. Inside of that, I'm going to click on Photoshop 2021. So let's scroll down until we find Photoshop.exe, hit open, and it is all right over there. Hit OK again, and hit OK again. You can then apply the changes and click on Done. Now let's close Photoshop and let's see if this command works or makes a joke out of myself. So let's close Photoshop. No, I don't want to save it. So let's try this. First of all, let's turn on listening. Open Photoshop. See, it has recognized that and it's opening it. Pretty darn amazing. One of the other things that we do from time to time is increasing and decreasing the brush size, and we can use it while dodging and burning or even while applying liquify. So in this case, first of all, press Ctrl or Command J to make a copy of the background layer, or simply say duplicate. Now we have a duplicate. Okay, all right, so let's go to filter and then convert for smart filters. Do you know why? So that we can change the values of the filter later. Let's go to filter and then liquify. Now inside of liquify, when we adjust something, sometimes we increase or decrease the brush size of the forward warp tool. So let's say we want to straighten up the jaw, right? We decrease the brush size or increase it by using the bracket keys, right? What if we could do it with a voice command? And this is how you can set it up. So I'm going to go to a voice attack right over there and then simply click on edit profile. Inside of that, let's create a new command. And we can name it fat and thin. Fat for increasing the brush size and thin for decreasing the brush size. So when I say fat, we're gonna apply a key press. So let's click on key press. Now what is the shortcut for increasing the brush size? The right bracket. So we're just gonna press the right bracket, hit OK, and there you have it, and hit OK again. And let's add one more. Click on new command, and this time we're gonna type in thin. All right, and key press the left bracket key, hit OK, and square bracket, actually the key next to P. All right, so hit OK. Now we have the fats and the thins. Click on apply and then done. Now let's try it. Listening is turned on, and let's just move the brush right over there and let's see if it reacts to it. Fat. All right, now it's working. Fat. Fat. It's a hit or miss. Fat. Fat. Thin. Thin. Fat. Fat. It's kind of working. Now I don't have to tell you what to do with that big fat brush. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's move on to the next example. One of the other things that we do time and again is switching between tools. So let's say we were to remove the blemishes. So first of all, let's create a brand new layer. And we're going to choose the regular healing brush tool. And in this layer with the sample set to current and below, we start removing the blemishes. Now, sometimes things happen that sometimes we make a mistake. We maybe removed the blemishes that we didn't want to remove. So let's do a blunder right over there. Okay. Now, how do we recover it? So we can erase a part of it. So we have to click on the eraser tool, do it and come back to it. Well, why not give it a voice command? So again, let's go to voice attack. Turn off listening. And in here, we're going to click on edit profile, click on new command. And when we say the eraser tool, or simply choose eraser, and we're going to press the key E, hit OK, hit OK again. And then let's do one for the spot healing brush tool or the regular healing brush tool. They have the same shortcut. Whatever is selected or at the top will be selected. So let's click on new command. And this time we're going to choose healing. We're going to type in healing and key press. I think it's J. So let's press J, hit OK again. And let's apply it. Click on done. Now the listening is turned off. Let's turn it on. And if we say eraser, see, it goes to the eraser tool. Now we can erase it. Now let's say healing. It goes to the regular healing brush tool. Now we can resume healing. Pretty cool, isn't it? And to cover mistakes in Photoshop or any other application, what do? Undo. And to redo them, redo. So you can also define voice commands for undo and redo. You can simply just get undo and redo in there. So whenever you want to undo something, say undo or redo if you want to redo something. So that can also be a good voice command. And one of the other things that we forget to do is forgetting to save. So let's say you're working with a very important document and you forget to save it and your Photoshop crashes and hell breaks loose. So how do you counter that? So you can give a voice command for save. So let's say we were simply color grading. I'm just giving a simple example right there. So let's choose late sunset in here. I don't like the color, so let's change the blend mode to luminosity. It's pretty cool. Change the opacity to about 60%. I like the colors. Now let's save it. Go to File, Save As, and this is for the first time. Let's keep it example2.pst, save. Now, as you continue to work, you want to go to File and continue to click on Save, not Save As, just Save. And the shortcut for that is Control or Command S. So we can again go to Voice Attack, click on Edit Profile, New Command, and let's just keep it Save. All right, key press, it's going to be Control or Command S. Okay, hit OK again, left Control or plus S. Hit OK. Great. Apply. Done. Now let's see how effective it is in Photoshop. Now as soon as I change anything, let's say we changed the opacity, a star shows up. It means that this document is not saved with these changes. If I create a brand new layer, you'll still see a star. When we say save, see, it saves it and the star is gone. If I make any change, let's say we delete this layer, the star shows up again. It shows that this document is not saved. So as you continue to work, you can just develop this incantation of saying save again and again. Well, it didn't work. Save. Save. All right, there you go. It just is a dog which doesn't like to listen. Now, some of you might be wondering, Unmesh, how did you pull off softening the skin? Well, I have an action for it. If you haven't guessed it yet, you can download the action using the links in the description. Now, all we have to do is to assign a shortcut to that action. So in the actions, I have one action for removing background. We're going to do that later as well. And we have an action for fully automatic skin softening. All right. If we assign a shortcut here by double clicking on the action and choose a function key, let's choose F5, hit OK. All right, now it's going to give you a warning because F5 is already being used for the brush settings command. So I don't use F5 for that, so I'm just going to hit OK. Now set F5 inside of voice attack for soften skin. So I've already done that for you. So if I say soften skin, it softens the skin. Pretty cool, pretty amazing, isn't it? Similarly, we can do it for removing the background as well. So let's take care of those, remove those. Okay, let's open up the actions and removing background. I have an action. It just uses select subject to select the subject and then creates a mask out of it. So let's give it a shortcut too. Let's keep F4 here, hit OK. Well, we don't use F4 for any of that warning things that just showed up. So anyway, let's try it. Remove background. And it's in progress. And it removed the background. Now you can put any color background you want. So we can put in white in here and put it under it. And it works brilliantly. Now this software also comes with some really advanced functions and features that's going to be very helpful for somebody who has challenges with moving or working with their hands. Besides key presses and other functions like playing a sound effect or some Windows functions, there are a plethora of options. For instance, somebody has difficulty moving the mouse or somebody can't move their limbs, might have a disability. It is a very, very useful software, especially for artists who just want to express themselves in Photoshop. I highly recommend it. You can just click on the mouse and control the mouse movement with it. Now, there are lots of sensors and cameras that allow you to move the mouse with just moving the head, but this can be helpful as well. So you can go to mouse and click on move. And in here, you can set it to, let's say, move up or down or right or left 100 pixels. So just for showing what it can do, let's click on move left and we're going to choose a random number. Let's move it by 100 pixels. Now you can change this value according to you. Hit OK. Now let's name this mouse left. Okay. And hit OK. Apply. Done. Now let's try this. So I'm not touching anything here. My hands are up here. Let's keep it as well. Let's say mouse left. The mouse moves 100 pixels to the left. Can be very helpful for someone with a disability. The greatest feature here is actually the record feature. So if we create a new command and if we simply go to the recorder, we can record a series of key presses, and it also records the timing. It's really cool and very helpful, especially if you're into gaming. You can just record a lot of key sequences with just one voice. And we can actually finish the whole game in Mortal Kombat if we use this secret tool. So all you have to do is to click on start recording and it will record everything. Okay. So you can also record the timings by clicking on this button. It will record the pauses, but in this case, I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to click on start recording and type in a simple thing. This is a copyright image. Hit OK. Let's give this command long form copyright. Hit OK. Apply. Done. Now if I just open up the type tool and if I just want to type in that this is a copyright image, I'm just going to click once and say long form copyright. Boom. And now you can adjust it, change the font, do whatever you want. Now let me share with you what you can do if you are a Mac user. Mac has an internal application for voice recognition. Windows also has that, but it's not very advanced. Voice Attack is miles advanced. Mac already has it, but it's also not as advanced as Voice Attack. If you have any other software suggestions for Mac, leave it down in the comments. In this video, I just wanted to show you Voice Attack. Anyway, so in Mac, all you have to do is to click on System Preferences, go to System Preferences and click on Accessibility. And inside of that, you will find Voice Control right in there. Voice Control is actually voice recognition. And you can enable it. Click on Enable Voice Control. And you can choose the language. You can add a language right there. I'm just leaving it to English United Kingdom. And we can choose our internal microphone or choose any microphone of our choice. And we can go to commands. Now I have already created a command for duplicate in Photoshop right here. So it's really very good, and it's good because it's application specific as well. So I'm going to show you how to create one more custom command. So click on plus right here. When I say, let's say select all, we want to select the entire thing. So while using which application? So you can choose any application which will be applicable to all the applications, or we can choose our application. So Adobe Photoshop 2020 right there, and perform. Well, we can open Finder items, open URL, paste a text, right? Lots of option right there. But in this case, I'm going to choose press keyboard shortcut. As I told you, it's not as advanced as Voice Attack. Voice Attack has everything. Here, we can just choose press keyboard shortcut and Command A, right? And click on done. This is for select all. I think we need to restart the application in order for it to work. Now let's try this again. We need to give it a pause, not in a sentence. Select all. See, it worked. So that is how you do it on a Macintosh. I don't know how to say it either. It's crazy. So that's voice control in Photoshop, my friend. Well, if you ask my opinion, I still think that there needs to be a little more development because the technology is not yet very snappy kind of thing. So if I say delete, it doesn't instantly do it. It waits for a little while to recognize that and then does it. And sometimes it's a hit or miss. But if you probably train the system a little more, maybe if you practice articulating the words well, maybe then it will work a little better. But as someone who has difficulty moving their hands or someone with a disability, this can be a boon. I'm telling you, a very useful thing for someone with challenges. Now, how you are going to use the software, that's absolutely up to you. I'm just inspiring you, encouraging you to try it, to experiment it, and find ways to just experiment with different softwares and games to see how you can make the most out of this technology. Let me know what you do with it. Let me know what you tried in the comments, and I'll be happy to read them. So that's pretty much it for this video. I would love to take this moment to thank all these nice and amazing people for supporting PiXimperfect on Patreon and helping keep PiXimperfect free for everybody forever. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.